Welcome to Well Fucked Wife, the podcast. I am Dr. Chelsea Page, licensed sex and relationship therapist, international sex mentor, and expert, helping you become healthy, wealthy, well loved, and well fucked. I feel like you guys are like my besties now. I'm just going to chat with you like you're my bestie. Oh, like I said in that last message, I'm like, oh, but I need to get a wax first. And it was just like sitting in my mind. So, story. Gosh, there's so many stories around me getting waxes. It's kind of hilarious. But I'll tell you this one now is I was supposed to get I was supposed to get a wax um like 3 weeks ago, and I completely spaced it, and I had it on my calendar and everything. And then she like texted me, she's like, are you okay? And I'm like sitting in bed. I'm like, shit, totally missed it. And I'm like, no, I'll pay. I totally took your spot. Let's reschedule. And hello, any of my ADHD friends of like time awareness and all of that. So I missed it. And then we rescheduled it for what I thought was last Friday. And it was not last Friday. So I went there and it was not the right appointment time. It's actually this Friday that my wax is supposed to be. I get a Brazilian wax. And the reason why this is all important is it's like these micro things that can really impact our sexual self and our sexual relationship. So we can be, even if we're like wanting sex more and all these pieces, it's really paying attention to, okay, what helps and what gets in the way. And I noticed as I'm getting more hairy, my pussy's getting more hairy, so I'm getting more hairy, that it's stopping my sexual self from initiating. I'm like, no, 'cause it's like at the end of the day, my mind is like my husband really could like care less. He could care less. But it gets in my head. And then that's what I'm focusing on, and it has me feel not as confident. And that's just my story, all right? To each their own, for however you want your body and your hair to look like. And yeah, so it's like paying attention to those things that actually get in the way. And it's so funny. I'm like, I wonder if I subconsciously was sabotaging these wax appointments and really blocking this intimacy, because it's been opening up more and more and more, like our sex life. So fucking delicious now. And definitely went on a standstill when I got COVID, and then I gave it to my husband. Oops, sorry, I love you. And but yeah, this is one of those things, if you've ever heard of like the upper limiting, and as Brene Brown calls, like the foreboding joy, it's like we also can be foreboding pleasure, and really recognizing of the things that have an impact on our pleasure and also in our sexual self, and also where are we like putting a ceiling on these things. And this is one of the things that I continuously work on in my journey and with my clients too, is like, okay, where are we capping ourselves? Where are we hitting the edge and the ceiling? Where are we touching the edge and then shrinking back down again, touching the edge and shrinking back down again, rather than touching the edge and then expanding out and finding new edges to our pleasure? It's now I'm even thinking of like sexually, like edging. It's like edging and like finding, it's like, it's not necessarily just delaying the pleasure, but it's expanding the pleasure and noticing our capacity for the pleasure within ourself and our relationship. And it's one of the things that I know has really been a huge impact on our sexual journey and our sexual intimacy and our relationship. Is, I know within myself, and we always want to look at, okay, what do we have control over? Does not work to try to control your husband. And I'll talk about in future messages, like, we think we're not controlling, but actually we are. Oopsies, we're so cute. So recognizing just those things that we have influence over. And sometimes it's the like smallest, subtlest things. Like, of course, there's like the big stuff, like trauma can impact us. And, if we're like have a huge fucking fight with our partner, it's, going to be really hard to want to go and be in the bedroom. Although some of us have the like makeup sex, and that's a whole other thing. But I lost my train of thought. Yes. So it's coming into this place of where are we capping ourselves? Where is the pleasure? Where are the big things that are getting in the way, but also the micro things. Like, all right, I haven't gotten a wax in a few weeks, and I'm noticing how that impacts, even though I've been historically the higher desire partner, it's like, ooh, that kind of tampons down my initiation on things and responding to his initiation. So just some things to pay attention to. And um, I'm sure someday I'll share another waxing story. If you gals have been in my world for a while, it was the naked experience. I talked about waxing and how it linked to shame and pleasure and perfectionism and all this stuff. So I'll probably share that soon since it's coming top of mind. But yeah, just pay attention. What are even the micro things? And where am I upper limiting myself? Where am I putting a cap on the pleasure that I'm experiencing? And this even goes to, gosh, there's so many things I could share with you ladies. I remember when my husband, when I remember telling him as he was showing up more and more in our relationship, because I've been like begging for more sex with him and wanting him to initiate and wanting him to take me and wanting him to take charge and just right, the masculine energy and like, yeah, like that energy. I'm just been craving it. And at the same time, what it would require of me is a lot of surrender, a lot of opening, a lot of vulnerability, a lot of like allowing myself to experience more pleasure. And so I remember telling him that, oh my God, okay, you're showing up and doing the thing I've been wanting you to do. And now I'm like, uh-oh, like you're actually pursuing me. You're actually like paying it, like you're focusing more on my pleasure and you're like showing up in this delicious masculine energy. And it like my inner feminine was like, ooh, whew, okay, breathing open, allowing more of this pleasure to come through and oh, just allowing. So this is one of the things that it's like the thing that we want. It's also looking at the parts of us that are also maybe scared shitless. It's like we want more sex. We want to be deliciously fucked by our partner. We want to be like all wild and free and like, oh, all the deliciousness. And then there could be a part of us that is like, I want that, but I don't want that. I want that, but it's scary. I want that, but it's vulnerable. I want that, but. So find the but. Where's the but? Where's the but? And where's the but? So allowing to open pleasure. And this has been honestly part of my continuous journey is more pleasure, more love, more pleasure, more love. How can I open more? How can I open more? How can I open more? Surrender more, receive more, be with the energy of it more, allow my body to be safe, our nervous systems to be safe with all that pleasure. And allowing yourself to open just at the pace that feels good for you. And even, and this is sometimes like a mind fuck, even if you're the higher desire partner, doesn't mean you are fully open and vulnerable in your sexual self. It's, yeah, I know I was reaching out a lot sexually is for validation. Like, oh, if we were having sex, that means my husband loves me. And if he loves me, then he's not going to leave me, which means I'm not going to feel my abandonment wounds and be left all by myself. So I was reaching a lot for sex to get validation and assurance that he wouldn't abandon me, which did not work. Instead, it's sex gets to come from this place of secure attachment and knowing and feeling and surrendering into the connection with him and the sex that flows through from that. Holy fucking shit. It is magical. Magical, ladies. We all deserve it. That was fucking delicious. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode on Well Fucked Wife, the podcast. If you're ready to dive in deeper, check out all the goodies in the description and make sure to join me at drchelseapage.com where you'll find all my current offers, including my private mentorship and private luxury retreats. I'll see you in the next episode on Well Fucked Wife.